The Jews are difficult subjects, always stubborn and arrogant, but they are especially dangerous during Passover. I had long decided that coddling them, as my predecessors had done, was the wrong way to control them. After crucifying more than my fair share of the rebels, those who had complained saw who was in charge, and their initial resistance fizzled. Still, I don't want Rome to think I've lost control here. I have since sought to find the balance of how to keep them under my power and remain on their good side. I remember well the night when one of my men woke me and brought me the prisoner Jesus from the previous night's trial. For them to break their Jewish law and not wait at least 24 or more hours before finalizing their verdict, well, this defendant must have really posed a threat. So I dressed and thought more about this case. The real issue was probably another one of their interminable religious disputes. But why would they want me to ensure his death sentence? I only have the authority to execute someone who has violated Roman law. If their case was to be indeed based on a religious dispute, I would gladly have dismissed it. I entered the judgment hall. The meeting began ironically with these religious zealots refusing to enter our Roman courtroom, claiming that to do so would make them ritually unclean before their God. How irritating. I shook my head at their hypocrisy. They were illegally rushing this trial to a death sentence, yet still insistent on keeping their Jewish purity laws so they could eat tomorrow's Passover dinner with a clear conscience. The Jewish leaders arrived first at our neutral meeting place. Seats had been arranged for us at what they must have deemed a sanitary distance across the room. I looked at the defendant and compared his serene face to the many and frenzied accusations. None of their stated charges matched what appeared to me just a harmless rural preacher. When one of them yelled, "He claims to be the king of the Jews!" I sat up straight. This charge I definitely could not dismiss outright. Wanting to hear from him myself, I stood and looked at the accused man. "So you are the king of the Jews?" Jesus answered quietly as he met my gaze, "You have spoken the truth. I am the king of the Jews." His gaze was clear and seemed to penetrate right into my soul. However, I still detected no fanaticism, no rebellion, no hatred, not even any anger. I hadn't heard from my spies of any plot to overthrow Emperor Tiberius. So what did his words mean? As the leaders continued their wild accusations, Jesus refused to say anything more. "Don't you hear what they are saying about you? Why don't you defend yourself?" I said. If he had spoken up, I would have easily granted him his freedom. But alas, I couldn't get another word out of him. Looking into his eyes, I began to suspect that there was something deeper going on here, beyond my understanding. His resolve to die, even this travesty of justice, was for him, at least, no accident.